Welcome back if you're returning, and a big hello if you've come from Tarnished Treasures. If you're not familiar with the channel, I've put the link in the description. Drop over and have a look, check out her channel. It's full of the loveliest recipes, decor vlogs, plus she has the best rummage sales and thrift finds. Honestly, it's one of my favourite channels. Today we are part 2 of our English Country Christmas. We're going back in time. So we started by adding a little bit of Christmas in every room. I didn't go nuts this year. First thing I did in the back room, which is also my office, it's the mud room, changed out the curtains. These are heavier winter curtains. Put up one of my fabric wreaths. This was probably from the 50s or 60s. Added a bit of greenery to the mirror and the artwork. Swapped out the artwork for this winter landscape, and there's my little deer on the wall. I added a little tabletop Christmas tree with some lights on it. This desk actually was a find before I left for the UK. It was $150. It is solid oak and the chair came with it. Now I did think the chair was leather. It is bonded leather, which is a bit disappointing, but it's very, very comfortable. It's a great place to sit and do your work. I also wanted to point out this framed Christmas card. This was the last card I got off my parents. They passed away within a year of one another, so it's treasured possession, and I get that out every year. This obviously just added a bit of greenery here and there. I couldn't find a lot of my stuff when I got back, and because it was so close to Christmas, I've kind of just... That's why I've gone back to basics. You know, if you think about your parents, the way they used to decorate at Christmas, it was a Christmas tree and a bit of greenery. Well, that's kind of what I've gone with, and it really feels like it's really homey, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. The green velvet curtains were the panels that I picked up. I thrifted during the fall. They were upstairs in the bedroom. I swapped them out, cut them down to length and swapped them out for my lovely blue toile summer curtains, and it really cozies up the space, especially for the winter. I put the greenery on the shelves, on the clock, and in the lovely basket. I did pull the love seat in. I swapped the chairs out for Christmas dining in using the big table. This little set, I'd like to make mention, it's a beautiful little Christmas set. Placemats for the table, 2 brown, 2 blue, and these are lovely to pull out year after year, especially because they're specific to Christmas, and those were from my sister. And so I will keep those just for Christmas when I use my little dining table. And these are all the lovely little pieces that I picked up while I was in the UK, all of them felted or knitted, and they are very, very traditional. This little ladybug was from my sister, and it's a reference back to my mum, and also the little robins are something that we both treasure, and I think they're lovely on a Christmas tree, and again very British. I saw these little knitted Christmas puddings and I had to have them. They were so reminiscent of your childhood, when one of the grannies or aunts would knit you something for Christmas, and I remember, you know, it happened every year, and they're just so lovely. You might not have thought so at the time, but I know I cherish them now. This little Paddington, I picked him up while I was in London, and he's a reference back to my mum. My mum absolutely loved Paddington, and I have a little one of hers that I kept from when she passed away. When it came to the kitchen, I kept the decor high up, just swapped out a few little pieces for Christmassy pieces, lots of greenery and twinkle lights. Again, I don't have a lot of counter space, so I've kept the counters pretty clear and just added the greenery and the lights high up. This little countryside scene with the hares and the pheasants are so British looking. I just think it's so lovely. That's a little advent calendar. This is another advent calendar. This was a push out piece. You push all the little pieces in each one. You build the house, and then each one is a day of Advent. Of course I couldn't wait, and I just put it all together, and I put it up on a shelf in the bathroom, and every time I go in there it makes me smile. It's just so lovely, and again reminiscent of childhood, you know, when I used to have things like this. I used to love stuff like this, especially paper dolls, Victorian dolls. We used to dress them with the little paper tags. Just thought they were lovely, and again reminding me of home and an old-fashioned Christmas. Is my homage to French country. If you remember, last year I had a French country tree and it was a lot more themed. This year, because of the time frame, I tended to pick my theme as my old-fashioned Christmas. This tree last year was very thematic for the living room. It was teals and peacock feathers, and it was beautiful, but I just didn't have the energy or the inclination this year or the time, so I went with a lot of my original Christmas decorations, which were my glass ornaments, and then put a lot of the special items that I picked up from specific places we visited in the UK. That was one of my aims, was to buy something that I wouldn't normally have spent as much money on as I did, as some of the little decorations that I picked up in the palaces and castles that we visited. Again, the house is very basic. Dudley just loves to look out that window. Not a lot of decor anywhere. There's something that I do every year. I take pretty Christmas cards that I find, whether they've been given to us over the years, and put them in little frames. They always look so pretty in the rooms. I've done that in all the rooms in previous years. This year I just did it in the living room. Notice on the couch I have two pillows. They are velvet pillows. They match the bedding in the bedroom, and those were £4 from a place called Primark in the UK, and they look gorgeous. So I said I swap out the chairs for the table because I do have 2 leaves that I add for when we have big dinners, and nobody sends cards anymore. There's only a couple of these that are actually cards that I received, the rest are mine that I just added in. Like the hallway, a lot of jobs that never got finished because of the time frame, but we did manage to get a door on the spare bedroom, which is great. So this is some of the vintage papers that I picked up. They're reproductions. I picked these up in a little shop in Oxford. They are very beautiful, and I will use those in something next Christmas. These cards, I picked some up from Windsor Castle, and then I have these little 3D pop-up cards which are so beautiful. I am going to be using them as decor, I think. The rest of the room again is just basically, I added up some lovely Christmassy greenery on the pictures, a couple of bows here and there, and a couple of little Christmas trees. Over the years, I have had a collection of little birds that I usually put on this tree. I have another silver tree, a vintage silver tree that I use. This is the closest that I can get to a feather tree. I've had this for many years. It came from a shop where one of my daughters used to work. So I've had it probably 15, 20 years, this tree. And I always put my little birds on it, and they just look so cute. Again, it's not a proper feather tree, but it's as close as I've been able to find. These 2 postcards, they are stained glass, the pictures of stained glass. Those came from Coventry Cathedral while we were there. I'm not sure if I picked them up or my sister might have picked these up for me. I think they're so pretty and so reminiscent of Christmas with the stained glass. We also picked up 3 little mice each, 3 little wooden mice, and my sister put hers on her picture frames in her house, and I thought that was such a lovely idea. So what I did was I placed my 3 little mice around the room downstairs, one on top of the curio cabinet, one in the cabinet, and one on top of the grandfather clock, and it just makes me think of home, and I think it's lovely. So like I said, we didn't manage to get any more done on the hallway, but I did decorate it anyway, and it does look lovely. But once Christmas is over, we'll get back to finishing all the little jobs that we started and never managed to finish because we got back from the UK so late. I love when you find little unexpected things as you're looking around the house. You know, it's nice when you walk through the front door and you can see right through to the little Christmas tree in the back kitchen, and little things that are hidden on shelves and wreaths that are lit up or boughs that are lit. I think it all adds to that lovely Christmassy feeling. So obviously lots of the decor is little trees and greenery, but I did try to add as much tartan and plaid as I possibly could with blankets and throws. I also added these little blue ribbons to the Christmas tree, which is a very Victorian look. This Christmas tree is just one big memory. All the little places that we visited with the special decorations, all the obviously the handmade ones, the ones that came from, you know, the vintage ones, Oxford, there's Blenheim Palace, there's the little foam box, the Jubilee. You know, every year hopefully when you put these on, you'll remember these places that you visited. It's like when you have your kids and you buy them their first Christmas ornaments. You know, all my kids are grown up now, but I still get them out and put them on the tree and remember the days that I bought them and that we put them on the trees together. So it's one big memory in a tree. I hope you enjoyed my old-fashioned Christmas. Next week I hope to have some pictures and some more information about our new property in France. But in the meantime, I'd like to say thanks so much for watching. I'm so very lucky and grateful to all of you. May the spirit of Christmas bring you and your family hope, happiness and love. Merry Christmas.